What if you discovered that the person you lashed out at in your worst moment was actually the one person who could heal your broken family? The rain lashed against the glass walls of Cole Enterprises headquarters, a gleaming fortress of steel and ambition in the heart of the city. Nathan Cole, 38, sat in his corner office, the glow of his computer screen casting shadows across his sharp features. To the world, he was the unshakable CEO of a tech empire, a billionaire whose name commanded respect. But inside, he was unraveling. 2 years had passed since his wife Sarah's sudden death in a car accident, and the grief clung to him like damp fog. His 8-year-old daughter, Lily, was a ghost in their penthouse, her once vibrant laughter replaced by a silence that cut deeper than any boardroom loss. His phone buzzed, the screen flashing with another missed call from Lily's school counselor. "She's withdrawing, Mr. Cole. She needs her father." The words were a blade, slicing through the armor he'd built from endless meetings and corporate victories. Nathan wanted to be there for Lily, but how? He was drowning in shareholder demands, a looming product launch, and the weight of a life he hadn't chosen. Single father, widower, failure at the one role that mattered most. "Lily," he called that evening, stepping into their sterile penthouse. The marble floors gleamed, the muted grays of the decor reflecting the emptiness he felt. Lily sat cross-legged on the living room floor, her dark curls spilling over a sketchbook. Her pencil scratched furiously, but she didn't look up. "You hungry, kiddo?" he asked, forcing warmth into his voice. She shrugged, her eyes fixed on the page. Nathan's chest tightened. He missed her laugh, the one that used to fill their old house when Sarah would chase her through the garden, their voices weaving a tapestry of joy now lost. "Let's go out," he said, desperate to pierce the silence. "Somewhere new. Just you and me." Lily's gaze flicked up, cautious but curious, a spark in her hazel eyes. It wasn't much, but it was enough. Carl's Corner Diner was a time capsule, tucked between a laundromat and a pawn shop on the city's gritty edge. Its neon sign flickered defiantly against the storm, casting a warm glow on the rain-slicked street. Nathan hadn't meant to stop here. He'd planned for a sleek bistro downtown, but the downpour and Lily's quiet insistence on something different led them to the diner's chipped red door. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of coffee, fried onions, and nostalgia. Red vinyl booths lined the walls, their cracks telling stories of countless late-night confessions. A jukebox crooned an old Motown tune, and behind the counter, a man with graying hair and a fatherly smile, Carl, no doubt, nodded as they entered. Nathan guided Lily to a booth, her small hand cold in his. She slid in silently, her sketchbook clutched like a shield. A waitress approached, her apron frayed but her smile radiant. "Welcome to Carl's," she said, her voice a warm melody against the storm's drone. Her name tag read Jasmine. She was young, late 20s, with dark hair and a messy bun and eyes that held a quiet depth, as if they'd seen more than they revealed. "What can I get started for you folks?" Nathan skimmed the menu. "Burger for me, medium." And for her. He glanced at Lily, who was tracing invisible patterns on the table. "Chicken nuggets, fries." "No, ketchup." Jasmine jotted the order, then crouched to Lily's level. "You like to draw?" she asked, nodding at the sketchbook. Lily froze, her fingers tightening around the book. Nathan braced for her usual retreat, but to his shock, she nodded, a faint movement that felt like a miracle. "Cool," Jasmine said, unfazed. "I draw, too, when I'm not juggling plates. Maybe you can show me sometime." She winked and stood, heading to the kitchen. Nathan watched her go, a flicker of gratitude warming his chest. It was the first time in months Lily hadn't shut someone out, but the moment shattered when the food arrived. His burger was charred, a far cry from medium, and Lily's plate sported a dollop of ketchup despite his explicit request. Frustration, already simmering from a brutal day, boiled over. "Excuse me," he called, his tone sharper than intended. Jasmine turned, her smile faltering. "This isn't what I ordered. Medium, not incinerated. And I said no ketchup." Jasmine's eyes widened, but she recovered quickly. "I'm so sorry, sir. Kitchen's slammed tonight. Let me fix it." "No, just forget it." Nathan waved a hand, his voice taut. "It's fine. Just don't let it happen again." The words stung even as they left his mouth, weighted by grief and exhaustion. He saw the hurt flicker across Jasmine's face, but he couldn't take it back. She nodded, lips pressed in, and retreated. Nathan's guilt gnawed at him, but he pushed it down, cutting into his overcooked burger. Then he glanced at Lily. She was dipping a fry into the ketchup, her movements slow, deliberate. A soft giggle escaped her, a sound so rare it stopped Nathan's heart. She held up the fry, smeared with ketchup, and drew a smiley face on her plate. "What's so funny?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper, afraid to shatter the moment. "It's a face," Lily said softly, her lips twitching, "like Mommy used to do." Nathan's throat closed. Sarah had made ketchup drawings to make Lily laugh, a ritual from happier days. He hadn't heard that giggle in over a year. His eyes stung, and he looked away, catching Jasmine watching from across the diner. Her smile was soft, knowing, and Nathan felt a fresh wave of shame for his outburst. "Hey!" he called, softer now. Jasmine approached, cautious. "I'm sorry about earlier. Rough day." Her smile returned, warm as the diner's glow. "No worries. Rough days are my specialty." She glanced at Lily, still focused on her ketchup art. "She's got a spark, you know. Just needs a little kindling." Nathan stared, struck by her insight. Who was this woman, seeing so much in a fleeting moment? He didn't know, but for the first time in years, he felt a glimmer of hope. Over the next few weeks, Carl's Corner became their sanctuary. Nathan and Lily returned almost nightly, drawn by the diner's warmth and Jasmine's uncanny ability to reach Lily. She taught Lily to fold napkins into origami swans, shared stories of her childhood sketching under oak trees, and sneaked extra sprinkles onto Lily's milkshakes. Each visit chipped away at Lily's walls, her sketches growing brighter, her smiles more frequent. One evening, as Lily doodled, Jasmine slid into the booth. "Can I see?" she asked. Lily hesitated, then pushed her sketchbook forward. Nathan leaned over, catching a glimpse of a drawing, a woman with long hair and a radiant smile, holding a little girl's hand. Sarah and Lily. His chest ached, the grief as raw as ever. "That's beautiful," Jasmine said softly. "You're really talented." Lily's cheeks flushed, and she mumbled a thank you. Nathan caught Jasmine's eye, a silent gratitude passing between them. He wanted to say more, but words failed him. Instead, he left a generous tip and a quiet vow to return. But doubt crept in like a thief. Jasmine was too kind, too perfect. Nathan's world was a minefield of ulterior motives. People chasing his wealth, his influence. Was Jasmine different, or was her warmth a carefully crafted act? He hated himself for thinking it. But the seed was planted, and it grew in the shadows of his grief. The storm broke one morning with a news alert that hit like a sledgehammer. Billionaire CEO Nathan Cole's new flame? Diner waitress Jasmine Hill spotted cozying up to tech mogul. The article was vicious, painting Jasmine as a gold digger with a calculated smile, complete with grainy photos of her laughing with Lily at the diner. The comments section was a cesspool, strangers tearing her apart, questioning her character, her intentions. Nathan's blood ran hot. He called Marcus, his assistant of 7 years, whose loyalty he'd never questioned. "Find out who leaked this," he snapped. Marcus's voice was smooth, almost too calm. "I'm on it, sir. I'll get to the bottom of this." But something in his tone, a faint edge, set Nathan's instincts on edge. That evening, he took Lily to the diner, his jaw tight. Reporters loitered outside, their cameras flashing like vultures circling. Jasmine was behind the counter, her eyes red-rimmed, her usual brightness dimmed. Carl stood nearby, his arms crossed, glaring at the intruders. Nathan's guilt surged. This was his world crashing into hers. "Jasmine," he started, but she cut him off. "I didn't ask for this," she said, her voice trembling but firm. "I don't know who told him I'm some opportunist, but I swear I'm not." "I know," Nathan said, surprised at himself with his certainty. "I'll fix this." But the doubt lingered. What if the article was right? What if Jasmine's kindness was a mask? Lily tugged his sleeve, her eyes wide. "She's nice, Daddy. She wouldn't do that." Her voice was small but fierce, and Nathan wanted to believe her. But trust was a fragile thing, and his was in tatters. As Nathan sat in his office the next day, the article glaring from his screen, a question burned through him. Can you ever truly know someone's heart, or is every act of kindness a potential lie? It was a question that clawed at him, rooted in Sarah's loss and the betrayals he'd faced in his climb to power. Jasmine had brought light to Lily's world. But was it real, or was he setting them up for more pain? The question hung like a storm cloud, urging him to uncover the truth. Nathan hired a private investigator, a decision that felt like a betrayal of Jasmine's kindness, but a necessity he couldn't ignore. The report arrived within days. Jasmine Hill, 28, lived in a cramped apartment with her mother, who battled a chronic illness requiring costly treatments. Jasmine worked double shifts at Carl's, took night classes in social work, and volunteered at a shelter for at-risk youth. Her life was a tapestry of struggle and selflessness, no scandals, no deceit. The investigator noted her reputation for quiet generosity, even among strangers. Nathan felt like a fool. He let paranoia taint something purer. But before he could make amends, Marcus called, his voice tight. "I found a leak," he said. "It was me." Nathan's grip on the phone tightened, his pulse roaring. "What?" "I thought I was protecting you," Marcus said, his words rushed defensive. "She's a nobody, Nathan. You're vulnerable, and Lily's fragile. I couldn't let some waitress take advantage." "You had no right," Nathan growled, his vision blurring with rage. Marcus had been his right hand, his confidant through Sarah's death and every corporate battle. This betrayal cut deeper than any headline. "You're done," Nathan said, his voice cold. "Pack your things." Marcus stammered, but Nathan hung up, his hands shaking. He needed to see Jasmine to make this right. Nathan returned to the diner that night, alone. The reporters had thinned, but the air was heavy with the scandal's aftermath. Jasmine was in the break room, sorting through a stack of medical bills, her face drawn. Carl caught Nathan's eye and nodded toward the back. "Talk to her," he said, his voice gruff but warm. "She's tough, but she's hurting." Nathan found her. The bills spread like a map of her struggles. "Jasmine," he said, his voice soft. She looked up, startled, then sighed. "What do you want, Nathan?" "To apologize," he said. "I didn't believe the article, but I doubted you. I'm sorry." Her eyes searched his, guarded but softening. "You don't know me, Nathan. I get it. People like you, people with everything, don't trust people like me." "That's not true," he said, stepping closer. "I was scared. For Lily. For me. But I was wrong." Jasmine's gaze softened, but she shook her head. "You don't owe me anything. I care about Lily. That's all." "I know," he said, his voice breaking. "And I want you to keep being there for her. For us." She hesitated, then nodded. "Okay, but no more assumptions." The third twist came like a lightning strike. A week later, Nathan received an anonymous email with a blurry photo of Marcus meeting with Victor Klein, CEO of a rival tech firm. Attached was a screenshot of a bank transfer, $50,000 from Klein's company to Marcus's account, dated the day before the article dropped. The pieces snapped into place. Marcus hadn't just leaked the story to protect Nathan. He'd been paid to sabotage him, likely to destabilize Cole Enterprises before a critical product launch. Nathan's fury was cold, calculated. He forwarded the evidence to his legal team, ensuring Marcus would face charges for corporate espionage. But the betrayal lingered, a reminder how fragile trust could be. He threw himself into repairing the damage to Jasmine's reputation. At a press conference, he stood before a sea of cameras, his voice unwavering. "Jasmine Hill is a kind, hard-working woman who's been unfairly targeted by a malicious lie. The person responsible was someone I trusted, and they've been dealt with. I ask for your respect for her privacy and an end to this story." The media storm subsided, and Jasmine's name was cleared. Nathan invited her to dinner at his penthouse, not as a waitress, but as a guest. Lily insisted on helping cook, her laughter filling the kitchen as she and Jasmine made spaghetti, sauce splattering their aprons. Nathan watched, his heart swelling. For the first time in years, his home felt alive. Months later, As Jasmine settled into her new role as Community Outreach Director at Cole Enterprises, Nathan uncovered one last secret. While reviewing old company records, he found a hidden file on Sarah's accident, details Marcus had buried. The car crash hadn't been an accident. It was tied to a rival's attempt to intimidate Nathan during a high-stakes merger. Marcus had known and covered it up, likely to protect his own involvement. The revelation shattered Nathan, but it also freed him. He shared the truth with Jasmine one evening, his voice raw as they sat on the penthouse balcony. "I failed Sarah," he said. "I was so focused on the company. I didn't see the danger." Jasmine took his hand, her touch steady. "You didn't fail her. You're here for Lily and you're fighting for the truth. That's enough." He looked at her, the city lights reflecting in her eyes. "You've given us a second chance, Jasmine. I don't know how to thank you." "You don't have to," she said, her smile soft. "Just keep being her dad." A year later, Carl's Corner Diner hosted Lily's 9th birthday party. The diner was alive with laughter, packed with kids from Jasmine's outreach program, their voices mingling with the jukebox's tunes. Lily blew out her candles, her smile radiant, her sketchbook filled with drawings of hope, flowers, stars, and a family of 3. Her, Nathan, and Jasmine. Nathan stood beside Jasmine, their hands brushing as they watched Lily open her presents. Carl, wiping down the counter, caught Nathan's eye and winked. "You did good, kid," he said, his voice thick with pride. Later, as the party wound down, Nathan pulled Jasmine aside. "Stay with us," he said, his voice steady but vulnerable. "Not just for Lily. For me." Jasmine's breath caught, but she smiled, her hand finding his. "I'm already here, Nathan. I'm not going anywhere." They stepped back into the diner, where Lily ran to them, wrapping her arms around them both. The grief that had once defined them was still there, a quiet ache, but it no longer held them captive. Kindness, second chances, and love had rebuilt their world one moment at a time. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe to support more tales of healing and hope. Your encouragement keeps these stories alive, connecting us to the power of human connection. The rain had long stopped, and the city sparkled below, a canvas of new beginnings. Nathan, Lily, and Jasmine stood together, a family forged by choice, their laughter a testament to the strength found in vulnerability. The wounds of the past would always linger, but they were no longer alone. They had each other, and that was everything.